Hi, I'm Randani Mbuba. I am a co-founder and director at AfriClimate AI.
My name is Amal Namushi and I'm one of the co-founders of AfriClimate AI.
Hey, so I'm Sabrina Amrouche. I'm a co-founder at AfriClimate AI.
AfriClimate AI exists to unite researchers, professionals, and everyone who cares about climate change in Africa and makes an impact related to climate challenges and so on. So it's really a grassroots community that brings together different efforts throughout the continent to bring in both the local context, the expertise, and also the talents to battle climate change related challenges using AI in general.
Look, I think Forecast4Africa closes a very important gap. And it's not just one, it's a multiple of them. One of them is the data gap in terms of climate and weather data over Africa. And what we do in Forecast4Africa is deploy new weather stations to close the data gap, support also with maintenance tools to actually keep the uptime in that infrastructure and collect more data. And the next bit is closing the capacity gap, because with AI coming in, particularly in the medium range forecasting realm, which is the 1 to 10-day time range that Forecast4Africa focuses on, we then close a very important capacity gap where the forecast are not just developed in the global north, but Africans can, take part in the development.
It took us a bit of time to actually put this initiative together with the help of our founders. We've always been saying that it's a very, very challenging endeavor, as is every research project. So we're looking for passionate participants, like someone who's ready to make a difference on the ground, who believes in the mission. Climate models and forecasting models on the continent can make a big difference on a macro level, but also in the lives of people. And we are not, of course, guaranteed to have an outcome. This is a very bold research initiative, but we have signals that strengthen our goal, and we're looking for a mix of passion and skill.
My name is Josiah Kimani. I am a recent graduate in mathematical sciences, specializing in AI for science from AIM, South Africa.
I'm Betsy Mureithi, a research fellow at iLab Africa. iLab Africa is a research center within Strathmore University under the Faculty of Computing and Engineering.
I was introduced and I was privileged to know about the work of AfriClimate AI through their monthly webinar to begin with. They have been organizing monthly webinar to create capacity for young people who are doing research in climate and those who are passionate about climate generally. So that was my first encounter, but also secondly is the interaction and the intentionality with AfriClimate team, where Sabrina actually came to AIM South Africa and we were able to actually meet with her and discuss our AIMS project, our master's projects that we are doing. And then secondly, AfriClimate AI, in terms of the leadership through Rendani as well, has been key in terms of also examining the master's thesis. And I was privileged to have been examined by Rendani during my master's thesis. So basically then that also gave me an opportunity to interact with AfriClimate in that aspect.
So the biggest challenge that we faced in the first round that we deployed our weather stations was access to connectivity and stable connectivity. So your usual GSM, 2G, 3G, 5G in rural areas is very limited. This is due to a myriad of factors. And so we solved that by looking at long-range area, wide area networks. The other challenge is around maintenance, because compared to community weather networks or citizen weather stations in the West, where it's enthusiasts, people who are doing it on a hobby and they're able to maintain it, smallholder farmers don't have that prerequisite or underlying knowledge to maintain and care for the weather station. So there's an element of required capacity building, whether it's partnering with a TVET, partnering with a school, partnering with champion weather farmers to be able to maintain the network. So as you scale, the maintenance issue also becomes a scale issue.
Forecast4Africa is not an AfriClimate AI endeavor alone. It is actually, a collaborative initiative that includes partners. And in South Africa, we're able to find partners that are willing to co-design and develop, which talks to the sustainability of the solution there. And secondly, South Africa has also been facing numerous climate events and hazards, particularly if you think about the Eastern Cape, not the Eastern Cape, but the KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa. There's been frequent flooding there, and understanding it within the medium range time scale, that is the early warning time scale that allows you to do something to give warnings. And also there's been also some weather phenomena over there that we seek to understand, like the increase in frequency of snow events and how we plan for that. And again, augmenting our toolkit in terms of how we understand what the dynamics with AI will always be helpful in that regard. So there is a need.
So I've known Rendani for a while. We go way back to working at WITS together. But Amal, Sabrina, and the rest of the team are all people I've met at the Indaba, which again, I think is just wonderful. This is the kind of place where people from very different backgrounds, very different cultures and countries can come together and realize they have the skills, they've got all the pieces they need to fit together to tackle problems that affect everybody on the continent, and can do this in a way that's on a par with what happens in the best places from a technical perspective in the world. And now we're one of them too.